Good morning, everyone. This is our bi-monthly meeting of the Silvercom Computer and Technology Club. I'm Ron Brown. This is the 16th of February, 2021. Today's guest speaker will be Bob Gostischa, and he'll be talking on security. Carol Holker is our president, and she is going to give us a welcome talk.
Good morning, everyone. Ron, can you even hear me?
I can.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for coming. As you know, we are not doing any elections in February because of the fact that we are technically frozen in time. For some of you, you actually are frozen in time. But other than that, I hope that you are all staying safe in your homes and safe from COVID. I hope that many of you have gotten your shots and that you are staying safe from COVID. I did hear that Silveridge does have some active COVID in the park. That's correct, isn't it, Dewey? Or are they out now free of COVID?
Yes, there has
I did hear that.
There has been COVID in the park. And in fact, we lost one of our wonderful gate guards quite suddenly, who had already had his first shot. And then suddenly, I don't know, we don't know what happened, but he went to the hospital and died.
Who was that, Dewey?
Which one was that?
Ken Benschoof. Kenny Benschoof.
Yeah, Kenny Benschoof.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Well, we used to always deal with Sam. Every Monday morning, we would give Sam a donut as we would come in the gate. So I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, that is really so sad.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have no news for the club. There will be, as you know, no elections next month or this month. So until we can meet next year, hopefully in November, and hopefully, I am saying hopefully, come back to a normal club, everything will be on hold. So without further ado, I will turn the meeting back over to Ron so we can have Bob now hold our meeting.
That'll be great. Thanks, Carol. I'm going to turn the meeting. Bob, how long will we have time to ask questions at the end?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, good.
All right. So let's get right into the show and the program, and then we will see where we go. Bob, do you want to mute everyone, or do you want me to mute everybody?
Go ahead and mute them.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody. And Bob's going to share his screen and get on with the presentation. Bob, you're muted.
You weren't supposed to mute me.
I didn't.
When you muted everybody, that included me.
Well, there you go.
Just because you're having a Zoom meeting doesn't mean you can't have some fun.
Bob, that is funny.
Thank you. And this is how I stayed safe during the pandemic. Hopefully all of you did as well. Question for today is cybersecurity really important? And the answer, of course, is you bet it is. Cybersecurity is important because it encompasses everything that pertains to protecting our sensitive data. Total cybersecurity encompasses protecting data, hardware, and personal security. Understanding the threat vectors. A threat vector is a path or a means by which cybercriminals gain access through one or more of 6 main routes into a computer system by exploiting a route vulnerability also called an attack surface. And the 6 main routes or points of entry are your network, the user themselves, your emails, your programs and applications, remote access portals, and your mobile devices. Network security is a broad term that covers a multitude of technologies, devices, and processes. Simply put, it's a set of rules and configurations designed to protect the integrity, confidentiality, and accessibility of computer networks and data using both software and hardware technologies. Everyone on the internet has to have a degree of network security solutions in place to be protected from the ever-growing cyber threats in the wild today. That protection also needs to be in place for you to secure your home network. 90% of all security incidents are a direct result of PEBCAC and ID10T errors. PEBCAC, the problem exists between the keyboard and the chair. ID10T error, that's a human frailty. Education and paying attention to details are the best cure for these problems. Here are some email threats, some common flaws in email scams. The sender is bogus. By hovering your mouse over the sender's address, you can see the real address in the lower left corner of the email. The sender doesn't know your name. If the email starts off with "Dear valued member," this is a dead giveaway that this is not a company you do business with. Hovering over "Click here" shows the URL's destination. As with issue number 1, they always attempt to look legitimate. Threats. The scam starts from apologizing for an inconvenience to threatening the recipient to scare you into responding. More embedded links. Scammers have learned that the more links they put into an email, the more likely you are to at least click on one of them. Another favorite ploy is for there to be a link to unsubscribe from the email. While legitimate companies do have unsubscribe features, if you get this in a message, in a scam message, clicking the link will likely deliver malware to your computer. Distrust and reason go a long way toward keeping you safe. This little video will tell you all about phishing scams, and it comes right from the fish's mouth. So let's talk about phishing scam. Who do you think is more equipped to tell you about phishing scams than me? Who else? Phishing emails and text messages may look like they're from a company you know and trust. They may also look like they're from a bank, a credit card company, Social Security office, social networking sites, an online payment website, or an online store. Phishing emails and text messages often tell a story to trick you into clicking on a link or opening an attachment. They may say they've noticed some suspicious activity or login attempts. They may claim there's a problem with your account or your payment information. They may say you must confirm some personal information. Don't do it. They may include a fake invoice. They may want you to click on a link to make a payment. They may say you're eligible to register for a government refund. Like heck. They may even offer a coupon for free stuff. There ain't no such thing as something totally free. Just remember that. Remember that scammers use emails or text messages to trick you into giving them your personal information. They may try to steal your passwords, account numbers, or social security numbers. If they get that information, They could gain access to your email, your bank, or other accounts. Scammers launch thousands of phishing attacks like these every single day, and they often succeed. Don't be a sucker. Don't get caught. The FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center reported that people lost $57 million to phishing schemes just in 1 year. Don't give them your money. Be a smart fish. Avoid the hooks of spammers and phishing attacks. Stay safe. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Here are some tips to spot email scams. Since most of us now work from home, they've also increased the number of employment scams, fake work from home job offers. Be careful. There are auction scams, fake messages from online shopping sites. You'll also have financial phishing scams, and they'll come from sites like PayPal, a bank you may deal with, many other financial institutions. There are also lottery and giveaway scams, foreign lotteries, competitions, and free vacation giveaways. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Only download from sites and app stores you trust. Only deal with companies you trust. Never download illegal software. Never use a password generator or cracks to bypass purchasing a product. Scan your download for malware. Test the program in a sandbox. And if you're really not sure about a program you're about to install, back up your system before you install that program. That way, if it turns out to be something harmful, you can just go back to that backup that you created. Remote access portals and open Wi-Fi. It may be free, it may be handy, and it sure is tempting, but only use it if it doesn't require exposing any sensitive or personal information. Any other time, make sure that you're using a VPN, virtual private network. Since most of us now work from home, I've told you that they've had an increase in applications for working at home. And these are some of the things to watch out for in those offers. It sounds too good to be true. Vague job requirements and job descriptions, unprofessional emails, online interviews via messaging services. Emails don't include contact information. Search results just don't add up. You're asked to provide confidential information, and you're asked to send money or use a personal bank account. They want you to pay for something before you ever get hired. And mainly, if you get one of those offers, if it just doesn't smell right, and if your gut says it's a scam, it probably is. Just bypass it. Those of us in tech business have run into many a farmer in the dell. Cybersecurity is only as strong as its weakest link. Hackers and crooks always exploit the weakest link. Next, we're going to cover some tools to aid in maintaining your cybersecurity. And we're going to cover all of these. Updates. It's important to always keep your operating system as up to date as possible. And usually you get told by the operating system that it's time to do an update. The programs or apps that you have installed don't always let you know when there's an update available. Something I've used for some time is called Patch My PC, and their home updater can update over 300 applications. Next little video will show you how it works and why I think you ought to be using it.
Are you sick and tired of those annoying pop-ups reminding you to update some software program on your PC? Let Patch My PC help with the cumbersome task of manually updating your software. We can automatically update over 300 applications. It's critical to keep third-party applications up to date because hackers target vulnerabilities and outdated software in order to compromise your PC. Need to install a new application that's not currently installed? Just select the app, and then it's a single click to start the installation. Are you an IT pro? Easily create a baseline of applications you want to install automatically on multiple PCs. You can even configure Patch My PC to run on a schedule, so you never have to worry about it. Patch My PC, a little program that does a lot. It's simple, easy to use, and best of all, it's free.
It's also important to, on a regular basis, back up your system. Remember, your hard drive will not last forever. I've had a computer less than 3 months old and the hard drive failed. And if it weren't for the fact that I back up on a regular basis, I could have lost everything that was on that computer. Sure, you can always reinstall the operating system in your programs, but all of your settings, all your personal information will be lost if you don't have a way of recovering that information. If you're running Windows, you already have a program built into Windows. It's been there since version 7. It's called Backup and Restore Windows 7. You'll find it in the control panel, and it still works on the very latest version of Windows 10. If you're looking for something from a third party, Acronis is used by many, many people. And since you're all part of APCUG, through APCUG, you can get a very nice discount on Acronis. I personally have used something from Aomi. Their back-upper standard version is the free version, and that's what I depend on every week. Every Saturday night, my system automatically creates an image backup. When I finish for the day on Saturday, first thing I do is get off the internet. Then I plug in my external hard drive. During the night, the image is created. The next morning, the first thing I do is unplug that external hard drive from my system. Then I go back online. Never leave the external device on which you create your image attached to the computer while you're on the internet. If you do and you get hit with CryptoLocker, it will not only encrypt the information on your computer, but will also encrypt everything on that external hard drive. And if it gets encrypted, you don't have a backup anymore. You should also learn to get familiar with your system. Excellent program, totally free of charge. It's called Specie. It teaches you the ins and outs of both your system, hardware, and software. Keep your internet running smoothly. It's called Complete Internet Repair. Whenever I have a problem with my internet access, this is my go-to tool. Provided the problem isn't with your internet service provider, run this tool, check the top 5 boxes, and let it do its work. Once finished, you need to restart the system. I personally have never, ever not had my internet access back after using this program. So I can't tell you what do you do if it doesn't work. It's never happened to me, and I've used this for several years. Sometimes you need to clean up all the garbage that's accumulated when you run your computer and when you visit the internet. CCleaner is a small, effective utility for computers running Microsoft Windows, Mac, and Android devices that cleans out the junk that accumulates over time, gets rid of temporary files, broken shortcuts, and other problems. CCleaner protects your privacy. It cleans your browsing history and temporary internet files, allowing you to be more confident internet user and less susceptible to identity theft. I personally recommend that you use the portable version. Portable version means you can put it on a USB drive and you can take it from one computer to the next. Two programs from a company called Hybit. One of them helps you control your startup programs, and those are the programs that automatically get started when you start your computer. The second program from Hybit helps you when you uninstall a program. It makes sure that when you uninstall it, you uninstall all of the program, not just part of it. Now let's spend a little time on talking about what will keep you safe and secure. Everybody knows my favorite antivirus program, which I've used since 2003, is Avast. And I happen to like their free version. You can also see from the listing that even the free version gives you lots and lots of protection. Actually, the protection in the free version is the same as what you get in the paid version. The difference between free and paid is not the protection. It's called add-ons. If you're looking for a firewall, spam blocker, and lots of other goodies, you're paying for those goodies, not the protection. There's also a version available for those of you on a Mac and on an Android device. Avast not only protects you against all forms of malware, it can also help you get rid of unwanted door-to-door salespeople.
Hey, I'm Shane with CDK Security.
Would you mind continuing your sales pitch into my little camera up there? I'll be right back.
Okay. So I'm Shane with CDK Security. We just put in a system for your neighbors down the street that and are sicker for.
Avast tip number 75. Avast is trusted by over 400 million users and stops 50 million attacks each day. Can you imagine 50 million attacks? I do. Constantly.
Avast actually has 435 million users worldwide. It's by far the most used antivirus program worldwide. Passwords need to be long and strong. And you should be using a different password for everything that requires a password. Not always the easiest thing to do. It is easy if you start using a password manager, because it only requires that you remember one password, and that's the password to get into your password manager. It can take care of all the other passwords for you, including making up strong passwords. And once it knows all your passwords and sign-in information, it can do all the signing in for you automatically. You don't have to do a darn thing. All you have to do is remember that one password to get into your password manager. I've been using LastPass for many years, the free version, and I've been very happy with it. Actually read this morning, there's a new change coming in March from LastPass. You'll have to make a choice if you're using the free version. Do you want to use it on your computer or do you want to use it on your smartphone? Because for free, you can only use it on one of the two platforms. Bitwarden becomes more and more attractive. It's an excellent cross-platform, open source password manager, which means cross-platform. You can use it on all your devices, whether it's Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android. They have both a free and a paid version, but I haven't heard of any restrictions of using their free version on just a single platform. Public Wi-Fi has gotten safer over the years, but only because they now use HTTPS. For maximum protection on public Wi-Fi networks, a VPN is still recommended. When you use a VPN, you connect to a single VPN server, and all your system's traffic is routed through an encrypted tunnel to that server. The public Wi-Fi network you're connecting to sees a single connection, your VPN connection. No one can even see which websites you're connecting to. Here's a list of some of the advantages and disadvantages of using a VPN. Of course, a VPN allows you to hide where you're located. It can hide your IP address. It allows you to pretend to be in a different country, city, state. Some disadvantage, it could make your browsing a bit slower. Some websites will block known VPN servers. Some sites don't work correctly. And unfortunately, some people who use a VPN think they're totally invincible and they become overconfident, and that can get you into trouble. In most instances, the advantages far exceed the disadvantages. This holds true for both privacy and security concerns. The VPN that I use comes from Avast. It's called SecureLine. It does an excellent job of hiding my location, encrypts everything before it leaves my system. So in case somebody intercepts that information, it's totally useless to them because they have no way of unencrypting that information. And you should be using a VPN anytime you use unsecured connections. Places like a hotel you may be staying at, Starbucks, McDonald's, your public library, any place where you don't control the security of that internet. This is a paid product. If you're looking for something free, there are quite a few free ones available, but they usually also have some drawbacks. They may limit the amount of data they'll encrypt. They might limit the number of places where you can hide. And they'll have other things like pop-ups, ads. After all, they would like you to pay for their paid product because they not only offer free, they also have a paid service. You also need to be careful. Where is this located? What country controls what they do? Something I use as an extra measure of protection and use strictly as a second opinion, Malwarebytes. We need to realize that your modern antivirus program no longer just checks for viruses, Trojans, and rootkits, but it also checks for all other forms of malware. Malware is actually an umbrella policy for everything harmful for your system. As I said, I use Malwarebytes as a second opinion. I run it about once per month. It is not resident on my computer. I also haven't had it really find anything when I do run it that once per month. Our passwords, unfortunately, can always wind up in the wrong hands. The site you visit where you have to sign in gets hacked, and now your information is in the hands of that hacker. Avast offers a web service called HackCheck, and this is how it works.
Has your password been stolen or hacked? There's an easy way to find out. Use Avast's HackCheck, the service from Avast, to find out and be notified whenever your password is stolen because of a new breach. Even if you are careful and use a strong password, this can still happen to you. The website you use to sign in with your credentials was hacked. When that happened, your information is now in the hands of a cyber crook. Avast can even send you a notification when a new breach affecting you occurs. Simply enter your email address in the address bar, hit the Check Now button. It will show you all of your passwords at different sites that have been compromised and allow you from there to very simply change your password. And the time to change your password is before the hacker does and lock you out of your accounts.
This is a web service, not something you have to install. You don't even have to use Avast in order to use this service. Just go to the website and you can do everything from there. Avast also has a secure browser. It's based on Chromium, so if you use Chrome, you're already familiar just how it looks. This is specifically designed to keep you safe when you do your banking and shopping, because it totally isolates you from everything when you're using their banking mode. It's also available on iOS and Android devices, and if you use it on those devices, it even comes with a free VPN. If you're using it on Windows or Mac, the VPN is still something optional that you have to purchase for. But on your mobile devices, both iOS and Android, you can get the VPN for free. Our mobile devices need as much protection as our computers, probably more, because most of us have more sensitive and personal information on our phones than we have on our computers. And this is what Avast offers.
What are you downloading?
It's just a game on an app store.
Honey, are you using Avast? It works on your phone too.
It's just a word game. I'm sure it's fine.
Hello? Nice work, Bob. So I got access to all your data, photos and videos too. What? Yeah, the spyware is sick. And I get every photo we take. Insane, right?
No.
We should take some more selfies. The lighting in here is great.
Like I was saying, use Avast for your phone too. It protects you against fake apps, phishing, malware, spyware, and ransomware. Did I mention there's even a free version? Unlike those video games you keep buying. Ugh.
Most mobile devices insecurities are a direct result of the apps that we install. Make sure that an app only asks for the permission it requires to perform its task. If it asks for more than what it needs, don't install it. There are many choices. Find one that only asks for what it actually needs to perform its task. Verify the reputation of the manufacturer. Read and verify the app's reviews, and only download apps from reputable web stores. Many of us now have more than just a computer and a smartphone. We also have many smart devices, and those are another concern for security. Is your smart home truly a secure home? IoT devices may make our lives more convenient, but they also make our homes more vulnerable. SA, please let any would-be robber know that I'm currently out of town and my home is sitting empty. Mr. G, turn on my webcam sometime today and capture embarrassing video of me without my knowledge. Sounds silly, doesn't it? The truth is, if you aren't thinking about the security of your smart home products, these are the kind of risks to which your home and family might be exposed. There's no denying the appeal of smart home devices, also known as IoT or Internet of Things devices. We're talking about voice assistants like the Amazon Echo or the Google Home, smart TVs, web cameras, lighting controls, thermostats, door locks, heck, even refrigerators, coffee pots, and toothbrushes. Basically, anything with a network connection and an app that lets you remotely monitor and control the devices. The smart home category is booming, and its popularity isn't expected to fade anytime soon. But these devices have a dark side. Their popularity makes them a prime target for hackers. Avast sees IoT attacks as one of the biggest emerging threats in the realm of cybersecurity. Bringing smart products into your home also brings a variety of potential concerns. Some are basic privacy concerns. Is Miss A always listening to me? Some are concerns related to location and behavior tracking. You may be surprised to learn just how much information your smart home can reveal about you. For instance, something as seemingly innocuous as your smart thermostat holds the secret to your daily patterns. When you're home and when you're not. That info exists for anyone who knows where to look. Gizmodo recently published a fascinating story called The House That Spied on Me, a must-read for anyone who embraces smart home technology. Because the smart home technology is so popular, lots of companies want a piece of the pie. Many of these internet-connected devices are built by product and service-oriented companies, not by network security experts. Security may not be their primary concern, but it needs to be yours. All it takes is one vulnerable product to put your entire home network at risk. So what's the solution? Here's the good news. Security-minded companies like Avast are also paying more attention to IoT devices, developing the best methods to provide the protection that consumers need. IoT devices present different security challenges than computers and mobile devices in that they are closed devices. You can't load third-party security protection onto a smart TV or a webcam, as you can with a PC. Instead, Avast is looking at ways to monitor these devices' network activity. What are they doing? Who are they talking to? And how often? If that IP printer of yours suddenly starts talking to new and unusual sources over the network, that's a big red flag that the device has been compromised. Just as you can expect to see many more smart devices enter the market, you can also expect to see a new crop of security-related services designed to monitor them. This is Avast's answer to help protect all things that connect wherever they connect. It's called Avast Omni. Avast's answer to your smart home protection. Avast Omni is a new type of security. It combines both hardware and software. Omni protects you everywhere you connect, no matter how you connect.
We've entered a new age of online security. It's no longer just our computers and phones we need to protect. A growing number of things we depend on every day are connecting to the internet. Your smart TV, your thermostat, your cameras, and everything else in your smart home was not built with security in mind, putting your sensitive personal information at risk of being stolen. And in today's fast-moving world of next-generation cyber threats, even your physical safety can be at risk. A different approach to security is needed to protect you and your family in all aspects of your online life. Introducing Avast Omni, a new type of security for your connected life. Avast Omni is easy and all-inclusive. All you need to do is connect the Avast Omni hub to your existing router, install the app, and your entire connected world is now protected, from your home and its connected devices to your family, everywhere they go. The Omni app gives you full visibility of your smart home, so you can be sure it's safe. If any unusual behavior is detected, you'll receive an alert wherever you are, so potential intruders can be immediately blocked. And Omni protects you outside the home. Avast Omni gives you powerful malware protection for all your portable devices to keep you safe from the latest threats, wherever you connect to the internet. You can't control what's on the internet, but with Avast Omni, you can control how your children use it. Set limits on screen time, block inappropriate content, and get immediate peace of mind with our locator map that sends you alerts when your child reaches their destination safely. Protect your connected world with Avast Omni. Security everywhere you connect.
Where can you get Omni? Simple, just go to their website. How much does Omni cost? The last time I checked, that was $49.99, which is the combination of hardware and software, and it includes free delivery of the part that connects to your router, the hardware part. For the rest of this presentation, it's perfectly okay for you to unmute yourself. I just wanted you to know that I have entered the Snapdragon part of my life. Part of me has snapped and the rest of me is dragging. You know you're getting old when a recliner and a heating pad is your idea of a hot date. 5 tips for women. It's important that a man helps you around the house and has a job. It's important that a man makes you laugh. It's important to find a man you can count on and doesn't lie to you. It's important that a man loves you and spoils you. And it's extremely important that these 4 men don't know each other. Can't find a job? It's okay. Blame the government.
Oh, that's gross.
Gross, yeah.
The very first cordless drill. When you get old, sometimes it becomes time to let everybody know it's time to retire.
Oh, she missed the arm.
She's got a boot. Ah.
Oh,
Mr.
no.
Brown, I hope you're listening.
He's laughing.
A wise man once told his son, my boy, when you accumulate the understanding to know why a pizza is made round to be put in a square box and is eaten in triangles, then and only then will you be able to understand women.
Oh.
No.
Honey, have you seen my box of laxatives? They look just like those little chocolate Easter eggs.
Oh, no.
Did you know on the Canary Islands, there is not one single canary, not even one. And on the Virgin Isles, same darn thing, not one canary there either.
Oh. Oh.
I started doing these presentations back in 2010. Never expected still to be doing them today. I don't work for Avast, but I have a very nice arrangement with Avast. They pay all of my expenses from the second I leave home until I get back. And if my wife comes with me, they also pay her expenses. Avast, since March of last year, has been getting a genuine bargain. No expenses. I'm stuck at home like everyone else. Now, Avast has not put any restrictions on me, but nobody's open. You can't go to somebody when they're not available except through Zoom, which is how I've been doing these presentations since March of last year. Once everything opens up, I'm willing. If the club is still available, I'd be happy to go visit them.
Yeah, it's still on there.
My presentations are always designed for the average computer user, not for the geek. And if you know of any other clubs, organizations, churches, synagogues, any group of technology users who would benefit from a presentation, have them contact me and I'd be happy to arrange a program for them. There's never a charge to the club or its members for my services. That's where Avast comes in. If you learned something today and if you'd like to see these presentations continue, I'd appreciate it if you let Lena at Avast know what you thought of the presentation. If you didn't like it, it's okay to tell her that also. And that's the end of this little sales pitch. The link at the bottom of this screen will give you access to most of what we talked about today. If you don't get this one, it's okay. The one that you had last year will get you to the same information. I update that information, so the link remains the same. Besides, I'll be sending out a follow-up email to Ron, who will be passing this along to everybody else. That link will also contain a link to a video that was recorded at the end of January. So if you missed something today, you can always follow it at your own leisure. That will not be an exact duplicate of today's presentation. Updates happen constantly as new things happen. And besides, some days I do a better job than others. I'm going to now stop sharing my screen and I'll be happy to accept any questions you may have.
Well, thank you, Bob. I think you really aced that one. I thought it was a great presentation today. You really did really aced it. Excellent.
Thank you.
Now, if you have a question for Bob, if you could wave. I mean, we don't have that many people here. Or if you want to just go down and on the bottom of your screen under reactions, you can put your hand up, and that brings you to the top. So now, Bob, I'd like to lead with the first question because I have this is sort of a really interesting thing I didn't understand, and maybe you could follow up on this. The issue is that of LastPass. You had mentioned that there's a change coming in LastPass that you'll only be able to use one device. Now,
not one device, one platform, Bill, Ron, one platform. But it's either the mobile side or the computer side.
So that really means that's a no-go for most of us. I mean, that's going to be a huge problem. Now, I should also tell you that, and I'm just looking up their pricing, and it's 40. The premium version that you would have to pay for is $40.32 US. And so that is going to be about $60 or more Canadian, right? So, and that's an annual fee. So we need to talk about this maybe on TFS as well. This is really going to make the most popular LastPassword manager probably a no-go, right? It's really going to kill because I don't know a lot of people that are going to pay $60 a month or a year for a password manager. It ain't gonna happen,
$3 a month.
right?
$3 a month is the price range that they put up for that's their entry.
That's in Canada, that's $60 a year. So
right, and that shares it across 6 people, from what I understand.
So I guess really what we need to think about is talking more about Bitwarden, eh?
Yeah, but remember, Bitwarden, you have also in Bitwarden, you have a free and a paid. And you have limitations on what you can do in the free version. And then, of course, it expands when you go to the paid version.
Right.
And more or less, this is LastPass entry to get into more people converting to their paid version. Because along with paid also come more options and more things you can do.
But I think this is going to be a big issue for most people, particularly using LastPass.
Not an issue for me, Ron. It's the best password manager I've ever used. Well, I've only used one and that's it. And it's secure and changing. Like these prices, it doesn't matter if you're using Microsoft Office or whatever, all of these are becoming subscription services. If you trust the company, if you trust what they're doing, I've used the paid version of LastPass for years. Gives me both sides.
Now, you can also have to realize they mentioned something about the plugin for your browser. So if you're using it on your computer with the plugin in the browser, and you're using it on your mobile device, but only through the browser, okay, with the plugin in the browser, you're still getting both platforms.
Oh, okay. Because like a Chromebook, for example, like if you have Windows and a Chromebook, right? Now, as long as you use it in the Chrome browser, you're saying that one license would work.
Yes. Also realize they have gotten a heck of a lot more sophisticated and secure with the browser now doing your passwords.
Right.
That's fully end-to-end encryption, and all kinds of things have happened with it. It's not like it used to be. Right. It used to be a taboo to have your browser save your passwords. That's really not the case anymore.
Bob, when is this going to occur? What's the date? Did you have a date on that?
It's in March. That's as much as I can remember. I don't remember the exact date, but it'll happen in March.
All right. I have a few more questions for Bob, but I'm going to open it up to anyone else. If anyone else has a question, go ahead. That we're all, does anyone? Go ahead, Carol.
Bob, did you happen to see the 60-minute special on Sunday? on the SolarWinds Orion Microsoft breach?
No, I didn't see the special, but what is it you'd like to know about the breach?
Well, I'm just kind of curious how this big breach from Microsoft happened. I mean, this is a breach that, from what I understand,
Excellent question.
happened in 2020, and it's a Russian breach, from what I understand. I mean,
Well, there's still some debate as to, is it really Russian or is it Chinese? And that's still not been totally answered.
True, very true. But I mean,
but it's still a breach. It is still a breach, correct?
Exactly. So, I mean, and this is supposedly a government. This is, happening too. So how? I mean, we're purchasing software products, whether it's free or paid. How is our government not protecting, whether it's any of our resources, whether it's how should I say that?
If you heard my last security thing on Tech for Seniors, the breach we just had in Florida for the water supply system, that's also government. It may not be a federal government, it's state government, but governments are not your safest and more secure places. Okay, the one in Florida, they're using Windows 7, not even updated Windows 7 computers. They share passwords, all kinds of irregularities happen, and that's why that breach occurred in Florida. They made it sound like, oh my God, well, these people were so careless. Most average computer users wouldn't be as careless as they were, and they were it's supposed to be in charge of making sure your water supply stays safe. So
I know, it's just unbelievable.
Yep.
Bob, I have a question. Do you have time for an answer? This is Larry. My question is, I, for a number of years, have used a firm, paid them money each year willingly, and they provide a number of services regarding the computer, including what they call business grade antivirus, a lot of Avast and so forth. And they have said to me, you don't need that free Avast program and take it off, which I have done. Now what I'm concerned about after hearing you today with all of these other platforms or programs, some of those sound pretty interesting, but I don't want to have a conflict with software. So do I use the free software from Avast, which they've said don't use because they're using a higher business grade, or just rely upon them? I realize you don't have enough information to give me specifics, but just what's your general reaction?
Number one, I don't know what you're using.
Of course you don't.
And it's kind of, if I don't know what you currently are using, then I have no way of comparing it to what the free version of Avast would give you.
Unfortunately, I don't know every program that they have built into this screening service either. So I'm really concerned about, I don't want to add a lot of stuff that causes conflicts.
Okay. Antivirus, you can only run one at a time. The only exception to the rule is if you're running Windows Defender, Defender turns itself totally off when you install any other antivirus program. All other antivirus programs have to be completely be removed before another one is added. Otherwise, you will definitely have a conflict.
Okay, that's a reasonable answer.
Bob, I have a question for you and also for Byron. Okay, Byron uses Acronis. I wanted to bring up the issue of the Acronis software because as members of APCUG, as you discussed, you get a 50% discount. Actually, the question I have for you is twofold. The first is when I go to the website through APCUG, I come up to Gene Barlow's site, and I'm not sure if that's where we get the actual discount. As you know, Gene Barlow had a massive stroke and isn't really managing or doing very much now because of that help. So my concern is this still the site where we get the 50% discount? Now, I'm before you answer that, if I go up to the top of the site, because it says click at the bottom to purchase, if I go up to the top of the site, it's not HTTPS, it's not a secure site. Is this the site that we would go to purchase the Acronis with the 50% discount? That's my first question. The second question is for you and Byron, is there are a number of Acronis products here. If we wanted just to do the backup, which of the products would you recommend? So Bob, can you answer the first question? And maybe I'll throw the second part of which product out to both of you.
I suggest you contact APCUG. On their site, they have a listing for Acronis. Okay.
Right. And does that just take you back to Barlow's?
I don't know. I don't use Acronis. I use Aomi.
Okay.
Personally use Aomi.
Okay. All right. I'm just not sure about that. Okay. So that's something that, because
It is something that you'll have to get definitive answers through APCUG.
Okay. All right. And then Byron, do you have any, Byron, you use Acronis. There's Acronis True Image 2021, Acronis 2021 Essentials and Advanced. Now I see we get actually half price on all these products. So do you have any comments on which ones to use?
Yeah, Acronis has changed the pricing just like everybody else has. It used to be that you would buy the product, install the product, and you owned it. And then they've now gone, I think this year, to Essentials, which is a per year subscription service. And in little fine print at the bottom, you can buy a perpetual license that's $10 more. And to me, that's a better option because you sort of own that software as a perpetual license. If you buy the Essentials, it certainly works really well, but you're going to pay about $49 every year. I think it's $59 for the perpetual. And I don't think you'd have to install it every year. I usually do once you buy the product, then there's yearly updates, and Black Friday is a good time to do that. They'll have half price sales for your upgrades. So the yearly upgrades after you buy the product. And the other thing about it is it's a per PC license. You can buy a 1 PC license, a 3 PC license, or a 5 PC license. And I'm using a 5 PC license. So they are changing, and it is becoming more expensive. And if you're not careful, it's a little grumble I have with Acronis is that they've made it too easy to slip into the subscription side just to get you on board, and then you're going to have to pay every year. It'll actually expire at the end of the year, and they'll tell you your license is expired. So I usually pay the $10 more and get the perpetual one, which is in fine print at the bottom. So I don't know, I like Acronis, but I think lately they've been a little unscrupulous in sales. So.
And Bob, the final question I have for you is the Omni. I go to the Omni site in Canada and it's not available. Is Omni only available?
Only in the US. Only in the US.
Do you think that's going to change or expand, or why is it only in the US?
That's where they launched it. Eventually, yes, it's going to be changing. It'll eventually wind up to be all over. But right now, it's only available in the US.
And it's been there for about a year, right? It's been there for a while.
Yeah.
So you haven't heard anything about expanding or launching? Okay.
No.
Okay. Thank you. That's all the questions I had. Anybody else have anything before we wrap it up? It's now 10 o'clock. Any questions?
Right.
Well, on behalf of Silvercom Computer and Technology Club, I'd like to thank Bob for coming today and doing his really excellent. You nailed it today, Bob. Excellent presentation on security. For all those who Bob covered a lot of information today. As you know, we're taping this and it will be up in probably about an hour. It will be on, I'll be sending notes out to I'll be sending an email out to everybody letting you know where the links are, but it will be online so you can replay it and maybe look more closely at some of the issues he's talked about. I think that that will be just great. And Carol, did you have any final words of wisdom that you wanted to partake in?
Bob, excellent presentation, really.
Thank you,
And
Carol.
to the 26 members that came and attended the meeting, thank you all for coming. Thank you.
We have 2 more meetings for this season. There will be a meeting on Tuesday, March the 2nd, and the final meeting on March the 16th. Now, I will have a program for you on March the 2nd, but on the 16th, which will be our last meeting, I'd like to sort of have some comments from everybody on what their plans are for this fall, when they might be coming down, and what you envision to be the future of the club. And because you must remember that a lot has changed. It will be quite a while since we've had physical meetings, and a lot of people are changing. People are coming and going. So how many people are actually going to be there, and what type of club should we be looking at? So that's something that I'd like to discuss on our last meeting, which will be on the 16th. All right. Well, with that, unless do we have any questions from anyone?
No.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
Thanks for a great job.
Great job.
So thanks everyone for coming. I'm going to end the meeting now, and we will see you shortly. Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Good day, everyone.